Hey all, here's a look at how to use an old your house. Now in this case I have got this one that hasn't got a brand, but you will see them online with various different brands. Really it's the same unit, and I found this very confusing when I first moved into this property that we live in now, that we're renting I should add. Okay, so let me have a look. Down in the bottom left, right, the first thing you want to notice is that down here, what you've got, it says program, holiday, clock, and it's faded because you can see the age of this. So you've got program is first, and this just slides across one notch at a time. Next is holiday, then is clock, then water, then heating. Okay, so when you're in the program mode, you see up here, right, the times. You see the clock first, the time. Now on the left, and this was a bit confusing because these are worn off. I don't know if they say on the original units, but the left hand side is the water and the right hand side is the heating. Now for some reason I thought initially that it was going to be that this was the heating, because for me that's the most important, but whatever. Hot water and heating. And so obviously to get these to work, the first thing you got to do is this: set the clock. So if I slide it to clock, it's quite hard, but there. Now it starts flashing. Now if you haven't got a time, it'll start I think at 0. So this is where it gets a bit confusing, right? If you press the up button on here, this up button advances by 1 minute. I don't want to lose my time, and you can just hold it if you want, and down. Advance is plus 1 minute, boost in this case is minus a minute. So let me put it back to what I think, 4:59. If I press boost, in this case I press advance, then it sets that time, it stops flashing. Okay, and if you toggle advance, set and setting, then you could toggle that on and off. So let's get the time right. I don't think boost actually does anything here, but it does in the other settings we'll have a look at. Okay, so let's call that set at 4:59 p.m. Then, so once you've got that set up, then let's slide over to water. Now, up here it actually says setting first. Now if I toggle through, right, if I press the boost on the right hand side, or if I press advance on the right hand side rather, then you can see it goes from setting that time to setting this time. So that means I'm set with that, happy. And then you can see now if I toggle through, setting second up here. Okay, so by pressing advance I'm setting the time and toggling to the next. So you've got the on time and the off time. Okay, so you can have up to 3 programmed cycles for hot water and heating each day with this device. And then if I do again, setting third, 7 p.m, 7:30. If I toggle through again, it just comes out with a set menu because it thinks we're happy. Press advance again, I'm back in it. And again, remember, if I go up and down, it's essentially plus 10 minutes, minus 10 minutes here. And I can long press. Now look what happens if you got 7:50 a.m. but 8 a.m. here, then it's just going to advance them together if they're on the same, which can be quite annoying if you are trying to figure this out the first time. So I'm going to go back. I'm already forgetting what time I had it on. And if I press advance, I've set it, I'm happy. Now I only want it on until then, 8 a.m. And if I press boost, then I can toggle back. Okay, so advance sets, boost. Confusing though, isn't it? It doesn't just toggle back and forth. So if I did press advance, I'm happy to set that, but at this point boost goes back. Okay, so that's just one thing to save you toggling through all of the 3 cycles as you might have to do otherwise. I'm conscious there's a bit of a reflection, but hopefully this is all clear enough. So if again, advanced, happy with that. Yep, remember, minus 10 minutes, plus 10 minutes on the left hand side. Boost to set, no, advance to set, boost to go back. Okay, happy with that. And let's toggle through again, setting third time. I'm happy with these times. One thing, it is quite hard to read that AM or PM, but it does go through them in order, so you should have that context to help you. Okay, as you can see, I'm still forgetting. I might put a marker pen on these just to remind me. So advance, and we're out of the set. Now, if I slide it back to program, just to note as well, why you're seeing the red light, that is because, you can see it's 5:02 PM. I've got, and this, remember, this left-hand column when we're out of the setting modes is actually the heating. So, heating, water. Confusing really that it's got, yeah, it does say plus and minus outside of them, but enter over here, which I must admit I've only just really noticed. So this shows me that my heating is on. When that comes on, the water is on. Again, I'll probably put a marker on these just to, or W and an H, so water, heating in those two columns. Now let's say if I actually got it wrong or whatever, I just want to press the select button on here. Now you can see that then toggles through to the all day mode. So what that does is just pressing it once, if it goes to all day, that means that it goes on until the last off time on your third cycle. So that's just an easy way to leave it on for a long time, but not all the time. And if I toggle it again, it goes to on. So I'm just pressing the select button down here in the heating side, and that will just stay on indefinitely. So obviously be careful with that one. And if I toggle through with select, that's off for good, and you can see the light after a moment then just went off. And press it again, then it's come back on. Now I've gone back into my cycle times. So we've got auto on all day, and on indefinitely, off indefinitely, just by toggling, by pressing this select button. I'm going to leave that on the program, and we've got the same, exact same functionality on the water side. So we go from auto off until the program time, all day on until the end of the next program time, or the last program time rather, on indefinitely, and off. So I always leave it on auto off until. Now if you don't want to, for whatever reason, press the off buttons before you go on holiday, you have got in the slider option, come over here, the first one is the setting. Now this is days, okay? So if I do advance, this will mean then it won't come on for X amount of days, okay? Not hours, it's days. So if you do go away for 2 weeks and for whatever reason you didn't want to change your settings, you could just, put that up to there, press the enter button over here, and it just won't come on then. And when you slide it back to program, you see it's just off, and it's got a 14-day countdown. Okay, so maybe you want to do that. I mean, personally, I would rather probably just go to the off. And again, if I need to turn that off, I'm going to cycle that back down to 0 by pressing the minus button and then pressing enter. And I think if I come out of that, it just magically goes back to where it was. So just put it back on program. And so, yeah, the heating is identical to the water. So again, you've got your plus and your minus buttons, and you've got your enter, and then effectively a back button. And let's say if I just cycle through, setting once, twice, so first, second, third, and set. And that's it. So generally just leave it on program, set your cycle times. If you don't want to use that third one, just a tip, then what you can do, just like on this, if I press enter to toggle through to my third, I don't really want a third one. Okay, no, it's not on this, it's on the water actually. It's on the heating rather. Press enter, go through first, second, and then the third, I've just set it to those 2 times, because that is one design flaw. Again, it's an old unit, right? But if you got to work with it, you got to work with it. It is third, and you just put them to the same time, okay? So that will just overrule, it just doesn't even come on then. So if you don't want to use that third setting, but you want to use say 2 like I've got, just put them to the matching times. And I mean, I can just slide out of that if I really want, if I'm being lazy, or I could just press the enter as well. So there you go, that's how to use an old style central heating unit. As you can see, I still get confused with it, but I'm getting better, and it's not terrible once you've got the hang of it. Hopefully that helps to save you a bit of money and keep your house warm through winter or whenever, and get some hot water when you need it too. Right, check out the channel for more. Check out this video for more, and I'll see you on the channel soon. Thank you for watching.